G'day, I'm Lee, founder of Uncommon Man. Uncommon Man became a passion of mine when I went through my own struggles, and in going through my own struggles, what I actually became aware of was this pandemic that's really running across the world of what we call covert depression for men. And where this covert depression comes from is our constant seeking of what we call performance-based self-esteem. You think about the way we were raised, we were always rewarded for what we did on the sporting field or how we did at school or whether we were a good tradie or not. All those things meant that the way for us to learn how to feel better for ourselves was to be better than somebody else. And unfortunately, the pursuit of that over the long term means that invariably we run up to people who are just better than us at certain aspects. And what that leads to then is this ability for us to go from what we call grandiosity into a space called shame. And an author called Terry Real wrote a fantastic book about this called I Don't Want to Talk About It, which can be a really tough read, but it's probably the watershed moment for me in changing my life and in becoming passionate about helping blokes. So learning that and understanding this performance-based self-esteem piece meant that what we understand is that as men, we feel good about ourselves when we feel better than somebody else, when we perform better than somebody else. And we also realise that many men feel shame when they're not, when we feel less than others. So a lot of the work we do in this space, the purpose of Uncommon Man, is to put tools in the hands of blokes to really help them understand how to manage their mind and their soul, to give them a system with how to understand their thinking, how to understand their beliefs, and change the ones they don't want to hang on to, and then in turn, learn how to be present. But really learning a system around how to be excited about everything you're doing in life that teaches you how to become aware of your potential again, because we stop becoming aware of our potential when we start to think that we're less than anyone else. And then connecting back into self-love and living in a place where there's no contempt for us and no contempt for anybody else. When I was lucky enough to find this system that took men from really feeling stuck into a space where they connected to their potential 100% again, suddenly I became pretty inspired about getting this in the hands of as many blokes as I possibly can. The other thing that I learned along the way is that community and connection. You know, if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the third biggest thing we need is connection. And when you think about life from a performance-based self-esteem point of view, blokes as we get older stop wanting to catch up with other blokes, because guess what? We're fearful that that other bloke's got more money than us, that he's a better lover than us, that he's a better father than us. So we stop connecting with one another. So it's time for us to lean back into it. And that's when we realised group coaching was going to be the right way to go. So working with 8 to 10 blokes at a time, changing the world 10 blokes at a time is what we're all about. So at Uncommon Man internally, that's our aim, to get 10 blokes into a crew as quickly as possible, get them going, then get the next one. So what can you expect being an Uncommon Man? What you can expect is having 8 to 10 brothers, week in, an hour and a quarter, getting together, learning a system for mind and soul. When it's all said and done, what we're all about here at Uncommon Man is creating an abundance of resources that helps men build an unbreakable foundation so that they can lean into the love, into the positive masculinity, and into the power that we all possess. And ultimately, our aim is to attract good men who want to step into their greatness and help them get there by giving them systems that teach them how to manage their mind and how to manage their soul. And here's something to think about. As a man, if I asked you right now, I'll place $1,500 on the table, and there's $500 if you can answer yes to any one of these questions. Question number 1, how in the next 28 days are you going to get your body fit? Convince me in 30 seconds. Could you do it? I'm willing to bet yes. Second question, next 500. Tell me how you are going to make sure in the next 28 days, your mind is sharp, you've let go of all the shit you don't need to worry about, and you're completely present. Convince me in 30 seconds you have a system that's going to allow you to do that. I'm willing to bet I'm taking that $500. Third, $500. Convince me in 30 seconds how in the next 28 days, you're going to tell me how you're excited about life, that you are convinced that you will always be respectful and love yourself, and that you are completely connected to your own potential. You guessed it, I'm taking that 500. That's what we do. We teach you a system so that in 6 months' time, you could walk away and say, I know exactly what I need to do to get my mind into the space it needs to be in, so that I have energy I'm going to get my soul into a space that I have purpose and passion. And you can look after your body, which is going to make sure that you flow into energy and confidence.